Now the second member of the Tripredacus Council is this handsome chappie. This is Seaclamp, and this is the biggest member of the Tripredacus Council. The other two could get away with being basic Beast Wars toys, and they'd be very successful indeed. They'd be massively advanced basic Beast Wars toys, actually. This guy is big enough to be a mega class, which is equivalent to today's Voyager classes. In fact, there are lots of mega classes that are about the same size or even smaller than this guy. If you compare this guy to Transquito or Inferno or Scorponok, he's about the same size, and he's of comparable detail, and also in terms of his transformation as well. The complexity of transformation is about equal. Now, of them all, of the Tripredacus Council, this is the one that could make the most successful standalone toy. He doesn't even look like a combiner. This guy looks like a toy that was made for itself, for its own sake, and it works as a toy that was made for its own sake. It is absolutely beautiful. The level of detail on this, you can't pick, this camera does not do it justice, but the level of detail on this guy's shell and just on his hide in general, every inch of him is textured. Every single inch, with this beautiful corrugated feeling. It's fantastic. And the colours are gorgeous as well. The colours are very naturalistic. Even this very muted blue works well. The only issue with this guy, and it's so minor, it is so minor, the lobster mode tail is evidently the robot mode legs. The robot mode legs just sling underneath there, but God, that is such a niggling issue. It's so minor, especially when you consider, once again, he's a component of a combining team. This toy is the component of a combiner, and it's quite arguably one of the most successful combining components in Transformers history. It is absolutely stunning. In terms of articulation, well, he's got about as much as articulation as you'd expect the mode to have. The legs just do that, they don't really do very much. The arms are completely articulated, as are the claws, and they have these wonderful little flip out weapons here, these serrated things that look absolutely brutal. There's quite a bit of unnecessary surgery that might be going on with this guy. Very, very cool. And his antennae will move up and down as well. In terms of character, I rather like this guy's bio. He is described as monolithically patient, like all of the Tripredacus Council members, but this guy's even more so. He rarely speaks, and when he does, his words are incredibly measured and his opinions considered, and he's usually right about almost everything. He is phenomenally intelligent. And he's something of an enigma as well. The other council members don't know anything about him. They don't know where he comes from, what his origins are, and nobody does. Nobody knows where he comes from, and he's not speaking about it. So something of a mystery, which is rather cool. The only problem with him is that he's so massively patient that it seems from the outside that he's not doing anything. He's also phenomenally slow, physically speaking. A reasonably cool character. Now, this guy's robot mode is as successful as his lobster mode. It really is. You'll see what I mean in a moment. There is Seaclamp in robot mode. Now, one thing I neglected to mention about this guy that is a negative quality, I'm afraid, is that this semi-transparent plastic is as brittle as hell. Very brittle indeed. And the annoying thing is, this guy is the main linkage system for the big robot, for Tripredacus. He links the other two together. And the problem is there are lots of ports and posts on him that are very fragile, and they will snap off. There's a couple that have snapped off of this guy, actually. Fortunately, they're not so essential that it won't fit together, thankfully. But that said, this robot mode is stunning. It is absolutely stunning. It's more or less kibble-less. This does not count as kibble at all. This just adds a particular look to the robot that's very fetching. Very fetching indeed. This doesn't count as kibble either. It just balances him out. It looks wonderful. He's as gorgeous in this mode as he is in lobster mode. The only real issue with him is that because of the nature of the transformation, a lot of screws face forward in this mode, including one curious one in his groin right there. Must have hurt. But very, very minor issue. I think this guy is a stunning piece of work. What I like about him more than anything, and you can't see it on this camera, is his face sculpt. His face sculpt is very sinister. It looks like an executioner's mask. He's got a sort of, I don't know, an assassin quality to him that I really, really like. Beautiful, beautiful toy. And, you know, even if this were not part of a combining team, I would have wanted this guy. As a standalone toy, he's stunning. Absolutely stunning.